So we'll start with our prayer. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityurma amritam gamaya aviravirmaya. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Parthaya pratibodhitam bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Prathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Ritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Amba Tvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavatveshinim. May we be protected, may we be nourished, may we study with energy and vigor, may our study be enlightening and not give rise to hostility. Om peace, peace, peace. Lead us to truth and not to untruth. Lead us to enlightenment and not ignorance. Lead us to immortality and not death. Let the self-manifest Atman grow in me. Om peace, peace, peace. Om, O Bhagavad Gita, with which Partha was enlightened by the Lord Narayana himself, and which was incorporated in the Mahabharata by the ancient sage Vyasa, the Blessed Mother, the destroyer of rebirth, showering down the nectar of Advaita and consisting of 18 chapters. Upon thee, O Bhagavad Gita, O loving mother, I meditate. Now, as we know that we have two kinds of goals. One is what is related with this world. The second is what is related with paralokik, or we can say Vedic. So Lokik and Paralokik. And since Veda defines it, and Veda indicates it rather, what should be our goal of life? The goal of life is to have realization, what we really are, what this world is, and whether we are creation of some products or something, or we are original, to find out that. So here it's 8th chapter, we are in 8th chapter. And the fundamental question Arjuna asked, what one should remember at the time of death? And some other questions, like what is Brahman? What is, say other questions. Kim tad Brahma, kim adhyatma? What is adhyatma? What is karma? What is adhibhutam, and adhidevam? All these are fundamental questions. But here we'll concentrate on the last question, that is what one should remember at the time of death. So Bhagavan defined what is Brahman, what is Adhyatma, etc. And then lately he said that forget about anything and other things. Only those who remembers me have at the time of final departure. So he attains me. Not to go to intricacies because that may confuse you. But one main thing is Ananya Chetaha Satatam Yomam Smarati Nityasha. So two words are given. One is Satatam, all the time, always, and Nityashaha, that means for long time, regularly and Dirghakalatva. So that's Ananya Cheta. Those who do not think anything else. His attention is in me. They attain me. Therefore, not to worry about anything. And what is the advantage of that? So let me read this. I am easily attainable. By that, your steadfast yogi who remembers me constantly and daily with a single mind, O son of Pritha. Then what is the incentive? Incentive also said that if you attain me, then there is no return. Why it is so? Because this world is full of misery that we understand. And then why this suffering is there? It is because of our vasana, desires. And because of that, this whole universe returns to existence, and again it goes back to its unmanifested form. All the worlds, Arjuna, including the realm of Brahma. So two words, like we said, Brahman and Brahma. Brahman is not limited, who is beyond all limitations. And Brahma is first created. So all the worlds, Arjuna, including the realm of Brahma, are subject to return. But after attaining me, O son of Kunti, there is no rebirth. Now, two kinds of abhyakta is used here. And I gave a huge number of time frame that it goes to abhyakta and comes back again and manifests this. What are those? It is 200,000, 2000 Chatur Yuga. That's a huge number. We have discussed about it last time. But the main thing is abhyaktat vyaktaya sarva. So this is manifested. As of now, it is manifested and it goes back to unmanifested. So this is one manifestation, unmanifestation. Abhyaktat vyaktaya sarva. And prabhavatyanta aharagami. Prabhavanti aharagami. It is like our day and night. What happens to us? In the morning, we get up, we recognize everything, our surrounding, where we are, what we are doing, etc. And then when night falls, everything crumbles as it were, and we go to a state which we cannot define, abhyakt. It cannot be said. It cannot be expressed. So this is one kind of abhyakt. We experience every day. Say tonight also you'll experience when you go to sleep. Now first you switch off the lights. So all the visible things are gone. Then you try to just leave everything aside. If you want to remember how much bank balance you have, what to do the next day, then you cannot sleep. So then a state comes when you go to sleep. And then what happens? Sometimes you may dream, but another state comes when you don't dream. Can you express that? You cannot express. So this is one kind of abhyakta. And this idea also is given in the second chapter. Bhagavan said, Avyaktadini bhutani vyakta madhyani bharata. So in the beginning it is avyakta, and then in it unmanifested, then it becomes manifested, and then it goes to unmanifested. So we can say like energy also is like that. One is called potential, one is kinetic. And kinetic, we have so many kinds of kinetics, say, and I say potential and kinetic. Sometimes we know elastic. So it is in potency. But when we leave it, then it is kinetic. Then we have chemical. We can store energy in chemical form, like batteries, etc. And when it's required, we can take it. Then electric also. And then similarly thermal, etc. Various kinds of kinetic, say potential energy. Energy can be stored. So we cannot see that energy, but it is very visible. It is verily there. It's verily there. Only when we require, then only it manifests. So this similar way, it is abhyakta. Why abhyakta? Because we cannot express it. It is not manifested. So abhyaktadini bhutani vyakta madhyani bharata abhyakta nidhananyeva tatra ka paridevana. So Bhagavan argued that something which is manifested at a point of time, and again it becomes unmanifested. So it manifests from unmanifested, and then it becomes unmanifested again. So one should worry about it. So same thing here also, abhyakta abhyaktaya sarva. So all unmanifested becomes manifested. Say, if you remember, yesterday you planned something and then you went to sleep. So those are present, those were present in your unmanifested form. Again, when you woke up, then it became manifested. So same idea here. Abhyaktat vyaktayaha sarvaha prabhavantyah ragam. So it is like a day. So Brahma's day, and similarly, as we experience our day, similarly, the Creator's day. There's a huge number. And again, when it goes to, say, pralaya, ratri agame praliyante, tatraivabhyakta sangyaki. So it gets to potential form when it is unmanifested. And again, it comes to a kinetic form when it is manifested. The simple fact. So this is one kind of object which we cannot express, we cannot say. So Bhagavan further goes, Bhuta Gramaha Saevayam Bhutva Bhutva Praliyate. Ratri Agami Avashaha Parth. Avasha. We don't have any control over it. We go to sleep. When we get sleep, we don't know. When we get up, oh, it is 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, whatever. We get up. And then we start our work, rat race, as it were, every day. So without any control over it. Avashaha. Bhuta Gramaha. So all the bhutas, they come to existence, come to manifestation, and again goes to unmanifested form without any control. Saevayam bhutva bhutva praliyate. So they comes and again goes to pralaya. That means it gets unmanifested form, and again we cannot say that it dissolves because it is there. So potential kinetic. So there is no control over it. Ratri agami avasha partha tatrivabhyakta samyaki. Now, all this why he's saying? To show that this is only temporary phases. Is that all that we should know? No. We have some better goal, higher goal. So to highlight that and to show that that is most important, Bhagavan is showing, Lord is showing all these stages. And this happens if we have desire, sakama, with some ulterior motives, then we are in this cycle of birth, rebirth, birth, rebirth. But if someone is there who is capable to hold and not to desire any results thereof, then he can attain higher goal. So what is that higher goal? Let us first discuss that. So Bhagavan says, Parah tasmatu bhavah anya. There is another abhyakt. So one abhyakt we understand, like whatever desires that we have, as of now it is in kinetic form, now it goes to potential form, that's abhyakta. But behind that there is another abhyakt. Why is posing like this, positing like this? It's because he wants to highlight what is the underlying truth, what is most important, that is to be understood. So he says, Parah tasmat, beyond this there is another abhyakt. Parah tasmat tu, parah tasmat, from that tu, but abhyaktat parah. Abhyaktat parah, there is another, this, beyond this abhyakt, there is another abhyakt, because that also cannot be expressed. So, tasmat tu abhyaktat, from the unmanifested, paraha, that which is beyond, anya, another. Distinct abhyakt. It's very, very distinct. How can we understand? There is another abhyakt. So we have, say, desire, and that becomes potential. But who desires it? That's very important. It is the conscious being. On the pure consciousness, all these are conceived. And that consciousness also you cannot express. Therefore, this is another abhyakt. So, paras tasmat tu bhavaha anyah abhyaktaha abhyaktat sanatana yaha sa sarveshu bhuteshu nasyatsu na vinashyati. When all the created beings are destroyed, but it is not destroyed. It remains all the time undisturbed. So this is, say, like you yourself, when you experience this world, you see so many forms, so many names, so many entities, as it were. And you want to fulfill your desires. But then when you go to sleep, all these go to that potential form. But you are the conceiver of all these. Now, one thing to be understood here. Whatever, say, has existence. So, how you know that it exists? Because we know it. That means knowledge presupposes the existence. Means existence like this, not the absolute existence that we say. See, this thing exists. I see, oh, this is existing. Wow, how? Because I know it. And for knowing, what we need? We need that I'm conscious, I'm aware, and therefore I can see it. That means behind knowledge there should be existence. Though it is not very clear to us all the time, we know, I said, yeah, it exists. But actually, it depends on my existence, the existence of the soul or self. Then only this whole world exists. How you know that this world exists? Because you exist. How you know that whatever you saw in your dream exists and existed, and then you wanted to achieve something? It's because you were existing, because you knew yourself. So whatever we see as existing, it's because of the existence of the self. On that existence, all these existences are subservient to you, subservient. So parah tasmat tu bhavan. So something goes to exist, to manifested form, again unmanifested form. How we know? Because behind this there is another abhyakt, which cannot be expressed. And that's why Bhagavan said also, abhyaktam vyaktimapanyam manyante mam abuddhaya. I am abhyakt. I cannot be expressed. But people think that I am a personal form. Though those are also very good, because that takes us to that path. Therefore, we do not discard anything. You know, it is said, nirvishesham, that which is nirvishesham, that cannot be defined, that has no adjuncts, no definition. How can you convey that? It cannot be conveyed. Therefore, nirvishesham param brahma sakshat kartum anishvaraha. It's very difficult to realize it. Therefore, ye mandaha te anukampyante savishesha nirupani. So first we have to see, like Sri Ramakrishna said, that a person trying to shoot, say, a flying bird, one cannot do right in the beginning. I'm giving an example. Don't think that I'm against animal. But you know, all these issues come. What is the point? That you cannot shoot a flying bird until or unless you practiced enough. So before that, one takes a bigger object and then shorter and narrower, and then very subtle. Then only you are apt to even to shoot a flying bird. Similarly, that which cannot be expressed, how can that be conveyed and to understood? It is well nigh impossible. Therefore, that nirvishesha, which has no adjuncts, which has no indication. So we go through the savishesha. That is why we don't discard any form of worship, any form of prayer. Yes, go ahead. In course of time, you'll understand. So here also, Bhagavan tells right from the beginning, okay, you know this, that something comes into existence and it goes back to its potential form. Yes, we know. Okay, now try to understand that behind that there is another abhyakt, unmanifested, which is different and it's very, very special. But beyond this unmanifested, there is that other unmanifested, eternal existence. That is what Bhagavan said in another place, avyaktam vyaktimapanyam manyante mam abuddhaya. Those who are not very intelligent, they think I am a Vyakti. That's why Sri Ramakrishna says, Swami Vivekananda describes Sri Ramakrishna as Nirguna Gunamaya. though he is beyond qualities, but he as if he has all qualities. So this is the truth, that behind this apparent qualities, he is beyond qualities. Like you also similar. You may have many qualities or some faults also. But behind all the qualities and faults, you are that which is unmanifested. You are that pure consciousness. It is not only God. We take God as an example, then we have to find God within us. So this param tasmat tu bhavaha anya abhyakto abhyakta sanatan. Sah yah sab sarveshu bhuteshu nashyatsu na vinashyati. That means, but beyond this unmanifested, there is that other unmanifested eternal existence. Eternal existence. You are eternal existence. So when you are awake, you are there. You cannot say, yes, Swami, I heard you speaking in the class, but I was not there. You cannot say that. And again, when you are dreaming, you cannot say that, yes, I dreamt, but I was not there. You were very much there. Similarly, another state comes which is dreamless sleep. That time also you cannot say that, yes, I experienced very blissful state. I was not there. You were all the time there. That is why existence presupposes consciousness, pure consciousness. See, as of now, we are also conscious, but this is tinged with other ideas. But just imagine that consciousness which is pure, on which everything is floating. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. When it shines, everything shines. Like light, generally we don't see this. We see so many things in the world, but we don't see light. That is most important. You can see, like before you go to sleep, you see what are the things existing. And then you switch off light. You might discover that, oh, I forgot to enlist light that was existing. But actually, it is light that reveals. Similarly, it is the inner light that reveals that all things are existing. It's not external, it is internal. So this unmanifested is separate or other than that unmanifested desires or samskaras. So parah tasmat tu bhavo bhavaha anyaha abhyaktaha abhyaktat sanatanaha. So this is a separate kind of abhyakt. And similarly, Bhagavan says para apara also. That is para state and apara state. When one, say a person, is not involved with anything, all of a sudden he has some ideas to write a novel or to paint a picture. That time he's with all the ideas, impregnated with all the ideas. So as if he has come to his apara state. Similarly, we are pure, and which is beyond all adjuncts. Like Mundaka Upanishad says, Sa para yaya tat aksharam adhigamyate. What is para? Yaya tat aksharam adhigamyate. What's that? Yat tat adrikshyam, which cannot be seen. You cannot see yourself. Whenever you open your eyes, you see outside. Adrikshyam. Then agrahyam, you cannot grab it because it is you who is pure consciousness by whose presence everything happens, but you cannot grab outside of it. Agrahyam, agotram, avarnam. You are beyond all categories. Achakshuha srotram. You have no avenues of knowledge because you knowledge yourself. Achakshu asrotram tad apani padam. You have no even the avenues of karma to perform something because you are pure consciousness. When you are in lower situation, then only you have avenues of sense, various sense organs, avenues of work, etc. So, achakshu, tad apani pada, vibhum sarvagatam. Vibhum is all pervading. Again, this time, space, and causation. When we are in waking state, then only we have time, space, and causation. When we are awake, that means we have concept of time, we have concept of space, we have concept of cause and its effect. In a Vyakta situation, when you are in kinetic potential form, then you don't have all these. Therefore, how can you tell that the questions that where is God? Best we can say he is sarvagatam, he is all pervading. Because time and space and causation, space especially, is conceived in consciousness. Therefore, in consciousness, everything exists. Therefore, we can say it is all pervading. All pervading. So, Nityam Vibhum, eternal. Nityam, why? When God came to existence, this is an absurd question. Why? Because the sense of time comes when we are aware of this world. When we are in time, space, causation, continuum. Beyond that, there is no time. When? That's why we can better we can say Nityam all the time. Vibhum, all pervading. There's Vibhum, says Sarvagatam. See, it enters everything, is it well? Your consciousness is with everything that you know. Even what you dream, you are the dreamer. Therefore, it is you that is all pervading. Shushukshma, very subtle to understand. Tad abhyayam. Abhyayam, it is not, it cannot be, say, spent. That means it cannot be, what is the word? Perishable. It cannot be perished. Abhyayam. And tat bhuta yonim. And on this, everything is conceived. Whatever we can understand. Bhuta yonim. Paripashyanti dhira. Only those who are stable in their wisdom, they only can see this. They can witness this. So let us come back to this. Yaha sa sarveshu bhuteshu natsatsu na vinashati. Though everything is getting destroyed, but it will not get destroyed because it is beyond time, beyond space, and beyond causalities. So this is that the second object, and that second object is pure consciousness, and that is our real nature. So we go to the next. So let me read it before we go to the next. But beyond this unmanifested, there is that other unmanifested, eternal existence, that which is not destroyed at the destruction of all beings. So we need not worry about it because we are not getting destroyed. That's for sure. Now, next we go to the next slogan. Avyaktu aksharam ityuktaha tamahu paramam gati. Paramam gati. Now, when we say depart, we conceive that there is separation, or there is desha, or space. So he attains, that means he also goes as if. But actually it is not. It is to realize oneself. As of now, we have some misconceptions. We come out of those misconceptions. So that is important. It is Swarupam. We attain our real Swarupa. So what happens to us? As of now, we have misconceptions. By dawn of knowledge that, oh, all these are false. I am that which cannot be destroyed, which is abhyakta, which cannot be expressed. So, abhyakto akshara ityukta. That is, it is abhyakta. So I have already quoted from Kathopanishad that it is unmanifested, imperishable. What does it mean, imperishable? Everything gets perished in time. Kalaha jagataha bhakshaka. Time kills or eats up everything. So when we say this, that is imperishable, akshara means it is timeless. It is beyond time, beyond the concept of time. Say a novel, a writer of a novel, he conceives, oh, this happened on this. And in few pages, he goes 20 years. When you see a movie, what happens? A child is born and again he gets adulthood in 5 seconds. And you say, oh, it is right. Because in that situation, the time space is conceived. Similarly, this is a vyakta. We cannot express it, and again it is timeless because it is beyond time. Time is conceived when we are conscious about it. Tamahu paramam gati. Paramam gati is supreme state. Why? Then only we shed off all our misconceptions. Yam prapya na nivartanti tadhama paramam mama. That is my abode. Again, when we say abode, that means it looks like somewhere else. No. It is within you. Yam prapya, getting which, na nivartante, you don't return. So that means what? All the creations are coming from potential form and coming to existence, and again it is going. That means what? All created beings are nitya. In reality, they are not destructible. So they have involved in something and again they evolve. And it is to that state where they realize what they really are. So in Vaishnava philosophy, we find that's why Jiva is called Nitya. Why it is Nitya? Because they cannot be destroyed. And Bhagavan is also Nitya. So here we find both are Nitya. Those both cannot be destroyed. Yam prapya na nivartanti tadhama paramam mama. That's my abode. Again, abode means it's not different from us. It is our real nature. And we shed off all our misconceptions. By those misconceptions, we think ourselves other than our real self. So what's the running translation? What has been called unmanifested and imperishable has been described as the goal supreme. Now, this is second kind of unmanifested. First kind, what Bhagavad said, is potential form of the same created being. But this unmanifested means beyond that real self, who is beyond time, space, and causation. So that's why it is different. So that is my highest state, having attained which there is no return. Why? Because then you have no desire left. You can attain there, that state, when you have no desire. But when you have no desire, how can you return? All our births, etc., happens because of our previous samskara and desires. But when that is absent, there is no cause by which you can return. That's why we also pray. Various prayers are there, and there you'll find like Khandana, Bhava Bandhana, Jagavandana, Vanditumaya. So all our prayers, if you see, there is expression. It is to lift the ordinary mind from our day-to-day experience and with form, with qualities. Gradually, it takes us high where all these melts away. So we go to the next. Yeah.
I have a question about the Sloka 21. The sentence that says, that is my highest state. Something that is a state that comes and goes and is changed. So is that the proper use of that word?
Right. Correct. Now we are in dualistic world. We use some words for some meaning. It is called Artha Kriya Karya. It has a meaning. Say, if I say, can you please bring me a glass of water? So you know what is water, what is bringing, and you'll bring a glass of water. So all these words are in the sphere of time, space, and causation. In Advaita, or which is abhyakt, cannot be expressed. How can you speak something? So there is no other way. That's why scripture says this, then our gurus explain what is the real meaning here. It is to go beyond that expression. So it is not a state. This cannot be a state. But how to tell? If we say it is not a state, then what to say? If we don't say anything, you'll say, Swami, you are silent.
How about that is my highest existence?
Yeah, that's also existence means what? That's also dependent.
Something that doesn't.
So that's why. So words are inefficient to express the idea. We can replace one word in place of another, but it cannot be expressed. That's the main thing. So that's why abode also, we corrected that. It's not far from this place. Whenever we say abode, that means it has some another space, another distant place. My abode and others' abode. So this differentiation happens because of our concept of space. But we have to express somehow. So all negative, that's why tattat adrekshyam, asfotram, apanim, apadam, etc. So all negations. By negating only we can somehow indicate. And Swami Vivekananda in one of his lectures he said that only expression is negation. But then people will say, oh, then what is this? All negatives. So there is no other way. So this is the problem. That's a good question. Very nice. So that's why, to express such ideas are very difficult. And Vedantins are always mindful about it, and therefore it's very difficult to speak. And again, we don't have any say resemblance in the nature. So we may take a few examples time and again. Why? Because there are not many. So we want to experience what this text is saying. Okay, it is like this, that you are existing. Yes, I'm existing. You are experiencing this world. Yes, I'm experiencing. Now go to sleep. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm dreaming. So you are there. Yes, I'm there. And dream is also there. Yes, dream is also there. Then dreams goes away. Then you are there, though you don't see any dream. That means all the dreams and experience that you gain in your waking state, they are in dormant form. And you are there. So dormant form is one kind of object, and you are there to witness that dormant form. That means you are also object. Okay, now just imagine that all the desires have gone away from you. You are without any adjuncts. Just imagine. That is your real nature. So that's why this is a great help. But still you can go on arguing. That's why Dvaita, Vishishtadvaita, Advaita, these are going on arguing. That this is my standpoint is right, your standpoint is wrong. But when we see our own lives, we can somehow, yes, it is right. So let us come to the text. So in short, it is very difficult to express, but our great acharyas have done it. That is why it is said, Ascharyavat pashyati kaschidenam. Very few wonderful people can experience this. And they are like wonders of the creation. Ascharyavat pashyati kaschidenam. Ascharyavat vadati tathaiva chanya. And some people, very few, can express this because it is unexpressible. But still they speak about it. They are also wonders. Ascharyavat vadati tathaiva chanya. Ascharyavat chanya srinoti. Ascharyavat pashyati kaschidenam. Ascharyavat vadati tathaiva chanya. Ascharyavat anya srinoti. And some people, they get the hint by hearing, though it is very difficult, but they are also very few, and it is like wonder. And most of the people, they hear over and over again, but they miss the point all the time. So it requires great determination, great faith, Shraddha. See, like Shraddha cannot be translated. And also contemplation. Then only one is established in it. So this is very difficult to conceive. But there is no other way. We are to discover our own real nature. Why? Because there is the existence of notions that we have. Nasato vidyate bhava. Asat never exists. But we see it. Shadows does not exist, but you see it. Only we can say it is less light. That is shadow. But we see. Swami, how can you say that there is no shadow? I can see. Therefore, it's very difficult. So, nasato vidyate bhava. Na bhava vidyate sat. Na abhavaha na vidyate. na bhavo vidyate satah. Na abhavaha vidyate satah. Na bhavo vidyate satah. What is that? Confusing. Na bhavo vidyate satah. नासतो विद्यते भावः ना भावो विद्यते सतः. Asatah bhavah na vidyate. That which does not exist does not exist. Simple. And that which exists ever exists. So that which does not exist we may see, like dream does not exist, but we see. And whatever we see, how can you tell that it does not exist? But what happens when you are wake up? It does not exist. Nasato vidyate bhava. Na bhavo vidyate satah. And sat never cease to exist. But we don't see. Because it is not object on which, standing on which we see everything, experience everything. That is it. And it never ceases to exist. But we don't see. We forget all the time. So our seers have analyzed thoroughly and found this truth, but still this is confusion. It is because of the nature of this objective world and our infatuation for this world. We may talk about philosophy for long, but at the end, we are attracted to this world. So this is the problem. And because of that problem, we never go beyond that state, this confusing state. Therefore, there is only one way. That is devotion. Devotion, again, knowledge is also like, they are not too different. That's why Bhagavan said before that, Ananya chetaha satatam yumam smarati nityasha. Tasyaham sulabha partha nitya yuktasya yogina. Those who are remembering me all the time, means your real self. Who is remembering his own real self all the time? Is bereft of this. Ananya chetaha satatam yumam smarati nityasha. Tasyaham sulabha partha. I am available to him all the time. I am easily attainable by that ever steadfast yogi who remembers me constantly and daily without any interruption, with a single mind, O Sarapa, Prita. So, after this, anyway, yeah, 23rd. 23rd. Actually, this we did earlier, but I thought it is better because this is very intricate and one should understand the implications. Now, next is Yatra Kale Tona Vrittim Avrittim Chaiva Yoginaha Priyata Yanti Tam Kalam Vakshami Bhartash. Now, Bhagavan touches many points and he does not go in details. It is because this is not a time for that. Arjuna was standing in a battlefield. Though he took the gist of Upanishads, Sarva Upanishadu Gavo Dugdha Gopalanandana, but that was not the place to go in details. So this is very, say in details it is given. Now I shall tell thee, O bull of the Bharatas of the time back, traveling in which the yogis return, and again of that taking which they do not return. So what is the time when one should do this? So whatever is bright, Agnir Jyoti Raha Shuklaha, Sanmasha Uttarayanam, Tatra prayata gachanti brahma brahma vidu jana. And dhumaratristatha krishnaha sanmasha dakshinayanam tatra chandramasam jyotir yogi prapya nivardate. So these are Shukla Gati and Krishna Gati. So that these are in the sphere of Krama Mukti, gradual attainment of that state. It is not Sadhya Mukti, immediate liberation or immediate illumination. So we'll take up in the next class that one. I think now we're ready for the next ideas. Any question?
Any questions?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I think a week or two ago, he's talking about when you meditate and you close your eyes and you look through the bridge of your nose or whatever. Since we meditate on Brahman or whatever, but yet he's indescribable, how should our meditation be when we're in that state?
Okay. So you meditate. Your guru must have given you a chosen ideal. A chosen ideal. And also a mantra. So first you close your eyes. That means if your eyes are open, you'll see. And you see the objective world. 80% of our mind is engaged in seeing. And rest 20% hearing, touching, tasting, and smelling. This is our world. Our world is nothing but these 5 sense organs. Whatever we experience through these 5 organs. So as you close your eyes, you try to concentrate. Now, looking at the nostril or eyebrows, that's not the point. The point is to concentrate on your chosen ideal. Okay. Now there is a trick here. I'll open this. And that is facing, your chosen ideal is facing as you are facing. Again, you are meditating on your chosen ideal who is sitting in your heart, facing as you are facing. And as you meditate on him, you forget this external existence. And you are merged with him. That means you merge with your real self. And that shell of your chosen ideal also will melt away. You, what you really are, that will be revealed. So this takes time. It is not in 5 minutes. It will take years, maybe tens of years, maybe hundreds of years, maybe millenniums. It depends on our speed. Tibra samveganam asanam. Like you are going somewhere, if you take 1 step and 2 steps behind, and then another step again, 2 steps behind, then it's difficult. But when a person is eager, I cannot live without it. Like a person is immersed in water, he pants for breath. I cannot live. Such a state, if one feels such a state, then it will be very quick. Tibra samveganam asanam. Those who have greater momentum will be immediate. So our desire, we have so many entanglement in this world. We are busy with it. And we have no time to meditate and be merged with our own self. So self says, okay, enjoy. It's like saying, mother, okay, my child, go on playing. A time will come when you will be hungry, then you will come to me. Then I'll give you food. Yes, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, when you're facing yourself exposed in this meditation, is that other person that Brahman or whatever, it's be facing back to you, or you facing
Okay,
the
okay.
same way.
He said Brahman is not other person, your real self. This is the problem. We think that he is different. Okay, in the beginning you can think. In the beginning, gradually and gradually, you'll not feel that he is separate from you. You, yourself. Your real self, not this form, not this name, not this identification, but your real self, that means your pure form, pure consciousness, not with other adjuncts. We have many notions. So, bereft of all false notions, your real self, it's not other person. Ishvaraha sarvabhutanam riddhesha arjuna tishtati. God is within, sitting within. Sitting, why we say sitting? Because how to say? So we say sitting. Okay. There is no online. Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamivavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tatsat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Thank you very much.
Namaste, Swami. Thank you.
Yes, talking.
Thank you, Maharaj.